Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day, good whatever it may be when you're tuning in, whether live or to the replay. Thank you for joining us on the Brunch Gimmick. If you're here, hammer the smash button, follow the subscribe button. There we go. I was going to say I did really, really well. I made sure to unmute the mics, unloop the video, and then I botched the entrance as soon as I'm back on screen. But thank you guys for tuning in. Lawrence, Goose, it's good to see you guys. I'm going to be asking you to cover for me a little bit more. I'm sure you can hear I'm a little raspy. It was a bit of a weekend, to say the least. But it's good to see you guys. It's good to see you guys in the comments as well. Zach, Omar, thank you for hopping in. Get well soon there, Omar. And Zach, I don't disagree at all, man. I think we need a new countdown. Lawrence, what are your thoughts? That's just an easy excuse for me to transition over to you.
Yeah, I think we can use some updating on the countdown. I also real bad heartburn right now, so I am
that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
struggling.
Do what you got to do, dude. Yeah. I said, dude. Keep Tums on hand. I think we're all getting to the point that we all got to, and that's not even a sponsored post. It's just, And Goosey, it's good to see you too, brother. How have you been since Thursday night?
I'm doing good. I'm a little raspy as well. I, of course, went to Lloydminster yesterday, and I had a tremendous amount of fun there. Of course, Friday night, I came and checked out the Love Wrestling show at the Rec Room. It was fantastic. And then Thursday night, which is why I suspect your voice is kind of raspy, because you're having to do announcing on 2 nights in a row now.
Double duty, Goose. That's the one thing that I don't like about you being back in the ring on Thursday nights is I'm pulling double duty.
It is well worth it.
I don't disagree.
But I had a very challenging bout there with Michael Richard Blaze and Taryn From Accounting, and my heart it's not burning, but it's broken because Taryn From Accounting kicked me in the nuts during that match, and yeah, no, I didn't think she would ever treat me that way.
Well, I didn't either, my friend. And for what it's worth, we are going to be tuning in to TFA versus MARC, Taryn From Accounting versus Michael Allen, Richard Clark. Not from last Thursday's clandestine/love wrestling show, but the previous month, January, our first LPWCWS of the year. If y'all want to pick up tickets, head to tixr.com/love wrestling CA. Because you want to get tickets for the next show. We've got Nicole Matthews and Speedball Mike Bailey going one-on-one for the first time ever. And we got lots of great stuff coming up on the Friday night as well, too. We've already announced that Alan Angels will be taking on the Thickness Reed Matthews. And heck, if we get to 20 likes here on the Brunch Gimmick this morning, we'll give you another little sneak peek match announcement for something we've got coming up here on March 29th. Anyways, well, no, I'll get one more cheap plug-in because it was pretty cool while I was walking my dog this morning. Make sure that not only do you tune into our bi-weekly episodes of Monday Night Shaw every week. We've got one coming out tomorrow with Wrath, but a couple of weeks ago, he had Michael Allen, Richard Clark on as well. Got a really cool comment on that one, Goosey. You did a really great job with that interview. And
really?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a guy who discovered both you and Clark through the interview. So nicely done. Check all of those out here.
I've quickly bonded with Clark over a love of Friday the 13th movies. I'm not kidding either. I absolutely like.
He's a horror movie buff in the best of ways.
Yes.
Horror movie buff and horror movie buff. Ha That was freaking good. Speaking of good, Elimination Chamber. Now, admittedly, I am still catching
I get it
up.
because of all his muscles.
I love you so much. Thank you, Omar, for the thumbs up. Like I said, let's get to 20 here this AM. Elimination Chamber, the big news coming out this weekend. Of course, WWE's first PLE in Australia since the Super Showdown in 2018. And even then, the Super Showdown was a very different environment. It was very much I hate the phrase, but like a bot show event versus what the Elimination Chamber was. Of course, the last stop on the road to WrestleMania as far as PLEs go. A really, really good show from what I've watched so far. But Goose, I'll turn to you. Have you had a chance to watch? I know you've had a busy wrestling weekend as well, but thoughts, even if you've just seen the results so far.
I did not watch the actual full event. I did see a few highlights. I'm really impressed with Tiffany Stratton. I think she's like absolutely gorgeous for one thing, and B, she's doing some incredibly athletic stuff. Like I started doing a swanton bomb off the top of the cage, and I'm happy to see that Naomi is back. Like she came back in the Rumble, but like she stuck around, so that's cool. Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley will be a fantastic match. Like it seems like every year now, like Rhea Ripley is kind of wrestling against one of the four horsewomen. So I'm looking forward to seeing Rhea Ripley versus Bailey as well when we eventually get that.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I had worked myself last week into believing that Nia Jax could win, maybe make it a triple threat there. But, again, even just seeing the highlights of the things, nonetheless, the full match, Rhea Ripley with the reaction she got in her home country, the big win, like, man, it's so cool to see. It's everything I wish that Sami Zayn was in Montreal. Lawrence, I'll turn to you right after, but I do want to shout this comment out from Zach because, I think we'll all echo it here. Stratton is Kurt Angle-esque in terms of just getting it. She picked it up so naturally. I couldn't agree with you more, but Lawrence, I'll let you talk first before I start to pontificate a bit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the show. Like, me, Doc, and Pluggo were right here at 5 a.m. yesterday watching the show. We had a great time. And like I think the standout was the women's chamber. Was definitely a standout. And like everyone said, Tiffany Stratton, like even I was surprised by the pop she got. Like we got a preview of it the day before at the press event, but like for somebody who is literally just weeks out of NXT, and to the crowd to like not only know her but to get this behind her this quickly is something special is happening right here. Like it's going to be a matter of months. Like by this time next year, she's definitely going to be champion. Like it seems like somebody just got on a meteoric rise and absolutely like was given this opportunity and showed out. Like she took some hard bumps. Like she throughout the whole match just like really, really like showed what she can do. And, like even everyone else in that match did great. Also, like it was a lot of fun.
I agree. Now, it's not just Tiffy time. It's Grainmaker time.
Yeah.
Hi, Blair, you handsome stud. Good to see you.
I totally
How are you
showed
doing?
up good, but I showed up at the wrong time because I've watched nothing.
Well, that's fine. It's a busy wrestling
Okay.
weekend. I'm sure a lot of people were tuned in maybe on Friday night to a little show here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We'll talk about that in a bit. But it was a really, really great show. Like you guys have both said, like Zach said in the comments, Tiffany Stratton is really the person coming out of this that like leveled up, for lack of a better way to put it. Becky and Rhea is going to be absolutely nuts. It's very, very cool to see that come to fruition. Like, you even talk about long-term storytelling. You know, there really hasn't been a ton up until a couple of months ago where Becky called Rhea out. But, like, even for me, you know, the little teases we've had over the last year or so, even them just stepping to each other in the backstage area and sort of getting that little murmur of, like, wouldn't this be cool to see? Like, it's that easy to start to build up towards a great match. If you want to talk about long-term, they didn't do a ton up until sort of December, January. But those little moments, I think, have people really, really hyped for that as a singles. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton, you even just talk about her recent run on the main roster. Like, I think at most, because she was one of those NIL athletes, and I think she's been in the ring for 3 years on the long end of my guesstimate. And the fact that she's picked it up this quick, like, I really don't think Zach or anyone out there is saying like Kurt Angle-esque as far as how quickly they picked it up. Man, like lickety split. It's been really, really cool to watch. She's a star. Dustin, you know I'm biased on this one, man. Tiffany Stratton is an early pick for Money in the Bank. Love it. I'm standing by Chelsea Green. I really, really think that regardless, again, of personal bias on that end of things, I think she's just the right choice. I really, really do. Her or Tiffany would be an excellent choice. But maybe that's where I'll start with you, Blair, because if you haven't watched yet, I don't blame you. 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. pay-per-views are hard to get up for. But maybe let's lead into that. Let's talk a little bit about Money in the Bank, because obviously Wrestlemania is not is what it is, but, you know, there's a fairly defined picture for a lot of the major championships. What do you see coming out of WrestleMania for a Money in the Bank contender on both the men's and women's side?
You know, for the men's side, coming out of even Elimination Chamber, when you're hearing the backstory of Bronson Reed and what was supposed to be for him, I think, you know, him for Money in the Bank, that would be, you know, just the ultimate sort of like replacement for what was supposed to be at Elimination Chamber, getting that match against Seth Rollins. So I'd almost love to see him on the men's side. And then on the women's side, I mean, you know, like Chelsea would be a great choice. You know, Tiffany would be a great choice. Man, I don't know. I'd even love someone like a Dakota Kai if she was, you know, 100%. But just throwing it out there for a different name, because like there are so many options there with viable contenders in that division that like you could pick, you know, a half dozen people and like there's built-in storylines for them already. So
yeah. I don't hate that Dakota Kai show, like especially if Bayley does end up winning the women's championship at Mania. There could be a cool little bit of tease tension there, you know, especially after the last few weeks where Dakota sort of made her choice. That's the only way you can put it. Why would I even say I hate the phrase? It is what it is. Zach, I completely agree as well. Tiffany Trick Williams, Oba Femi rules.
Yeah.
Oh my God, does he rule? Do I think that he's going to win the Money in the Bank? No, I think you have that man carry the NXT North American Championship for eons. That guy's got it. You bring someone that can, like, this is a lofty comparison, but like that guy could have like a Gunther-like run with that championship. And there really haven't been a ton of super long title reigns with it. Adam Cole had a pretty good run with it.
Yeah.
But other than that, like there hasn't been that like definitive run. You know what I mean? And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like I'm going off the top of my head here.
Not to get too far off,
actually.
But even with the NIL things, like when you think what they've been able to, the wrestlers they've been able to like kind of cultivate through that. And, you know, you have Tiffany, Trick, Oba, the Creeds, it may be a handful of wrestlers, but that's a handful that they didn't have before. So you couple that with, you know, the people from the indies or other developmentals, and like they're really getting a nice crop of fresh talent for the next wave.
Man, there's nothing. It's like for me when people are like, "Oh man, you found that song." Like, remember last year or the year before, where people were getting mad at Metallica fans, or Metallica fans were getting mad at Stranger Things fans for getting into Metallica. Like, why would you give a shit where a great wrestler comes from?
Yeah.
Like Bianca Belair, I know wasn't necessarily an NIL athlete, so to speak, but she hadn't wrestled. She came out of college a track star, right? Like, could you imagine a wrestling landscape, a WWE landscape right now without Bianca Belair?
Can I?
But
just
she's
ask
not
a
an indie
question
wrestler,
because
like you say, Blair. Of course, I'll stop here, Goose. But like you say, Blair, like there's a lot of great indie wrestlers. I love Gargano. I love Ciampa. I love Tiffany Stratton. I love Bianca Belair. Why would you not want like the widest net possible to get great athletes, great wrestlers? Sorry,
Especially,
Goose, go ahead.
I don't want to sound like super like dumb or ignorant, but I have no idea. What is NIL?
Name, image, likeness.
Yes.
So it's basically that's why Bianca Belair came in. It's basically the college players now could get paid for their name, image, and likeness. So WWE is able to sign them earlier and pay them money. So that's why Bianca Belair came in before that came into effect.
Yeah.
So it's about signing college athletes.
Yes, it's about
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So that's exactly. So Tiffany Stratton, I can't remember what was her sport of choice. Can't remember offhand. Now I feel very silly.
There we go.
I wouldn't surprise me if she's done
star.
like 20 sports. Like she's in great shape.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly it. So you sign these great athletes, you train them to become great pro wrestlers, and like you guys said, that program's been in effect for about 2 years, and like you're already starting to reap the benefits of it. So, yeah, I've never understood that, dude. So much of my music came from like fucking Tony Hawk. Like, why would anyone care where you're finding this stuff? Do you know how much music I get from like Instagram reels now? That's the youngest sentence I will ever say too, by the way. I feel very youthful saying that. I got it on a TikTok I said the other day, and I felt weird saying that, but that is what it is.
I mean, Fleetwood Mac charted because of a TikTok.
Was that a TikTok or an Insta? Yeah.
No, Fleetwood Mac chartered because Fleetwood Mac is awesome.
Yeah. And so is that dude.
Just happens to be like.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Stratton was a gymnast. Welcome, Ophelia. Good to see you this morning. Man, I again, it's just such a weird thing for me. Why you would ever care where an athlete was developed. Weird way to put it, but that'd be like an NHL team saying, "Oh, I'm not going to pick you because you're from the WHL," or from like, why create your own boundaries? There we go. The right answer. Fleetwood Mac trended because of LPW 21. Check that out on IWTV as well too. The video on demand we've got as of LPW 23, our first live event on IWTV. We're now going to have 11 events, our 11 most recent events up there by the end of this week. So check us out there. It's not only Love Pro Wrestling, it's very inexpensive for the value you get out of it. And like, you're not just getting us, like I said, you're getting a ton, literally the widest library of independent wrestling in the world. But check us out selfishly first. Anyways, where do we want to go? Money in the Bank. Goose, you got any picks? Lawrence, you got any picks? That's where we sort of left off before Tony Hawk came up.
I would absolutely love to see Dominic Mysterio win Money in the Bank.
An excellent choice. Excellent choice. He is the kind of person built to carry a Money in the Bank. There have been a lot of like great babyface cash-ins with it, but like it's built for a douchebag to win a title. You know what I mean? Edge. I love like it's just so built in for it. Dominic Mysterio. I don't know, because the only concern I would have there, I guess, would be it'd just be another year where that Money in the Bank isn't cashed in successfully. I don't think Damian Priest is going to do it at this point unless he does it on Drew McIntyre at Mania.
Yeah, like he tries to do the heights of the century either on Seth again.
But him and Drew have had their history. Like I could 100% see that too, where night after Mania or SmackDown after Mania, or he botches it.
Dominic Mysterio winning over Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship would not hurt my feelings. I would be very happy to see him employ all his slimy tactics and have his friends come out and just.
You could do it at SummerSlam because Dominic debuted against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. You've got a built-in story there.
Yeah, no, I feel like Dominic Mysterio could very easily cash in.
The
and
second ever
successfully do so.
world heavyweight champion, Dominic Mysterio. Because would he cash in on Drew? I don't know. I don't know if you'd be able to. Like Drew and
Drew's
Seth
a
are
heel,
two different
so
wrestlers.
like you want him to cash in on a baby face if he's going to cash
Yeah.
in, right? I mean, a Dominic
Gee.
Mysterio versus CM Punk would be great when Punk comes back.
Well, weren't
you
they
know?
supposed to wrestle at? Elimination Chamber before Punk got hurt? That was at
they
least
were
the word on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know they did like one house show match, and then they were supposed to run Elimination Chamber because people thought that, okay, maybe Braun would take his spot since it was like
Yeah.
just the way Braun and Mysterio, Braun and Gunther, since that was where Lesnar was supposed to be. So
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Ophelia, I just hope we get a women's Money in the Bank run that's more than 48 hours. Frig, do I ever agree on that?
mhm.
Do I ever agree on that? Like, I don't know. It's just the law of diminishing returns, right? Like, no matter how cool the cash in is, it's when you do see something very similar for years. I know that EO was longer, like you say, 48 hours, but it's just the law of diminishing returns with that end of things.
Yeah.
Sammy winning it would be nice.
Yeah,
I
was about to
agree.
say that.
Tom, good to see you. Thank you for hopping in. If you guys are just tuning in and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. But right now, while we're live, if you hit that follow button and that like button, maybe even just the like button because I can see that right now. Hit the like button. We're giving away a Love Pro Wrestling 24 matchup when y'all get us to 20 likes. Sammy winning would be great. At this point, just put a title on Sami Zayn. I don't have a better way to put it. I'll always advocate for it, but that guy has indisputably and always had the potential to be, but undisputably become one of the biggest baby faces in wrestling. He just is.
Mhm.
And I don't know how you do it. A Money in the Bank would be fantastic. Maybe he cashes in on Drew because really, again, Drew's heel turn somewhat started with Sammy. Like he was the first few matches. But I don't know. Again, and Goose, you've really sort of hit the nail on the head. Like Dom cashing in or some just smarmy, greasy heel winning with a Money in the Bank is for me personally the best route to go.
There is so much potential with it when you think of it, because like even if you had, like say a Sammy challenge for the championship at Money in the Bank and have like Kevin Owens win the cash in, and like just to like redo that over again, because I could never get enough of Kevin.
No,
and Sammy. Yes,
I can't.
I'm choosing
don't break
chaos
my heart
today.
again. Don't
I'm
break
choosing
my heart
chaos.
again. Don't go breaking my heart.
So you can tell that I watched the Kevin turning on Sammy in NXT not too long ago, so it's fresh in my mind.
And it's
Kevin
so
versus
great.
Seth
And
is always good. Always good.
oh, it's always excellent. Just don't go breaking my heart with
Yeah.
this one again.
Like,
I like them being friends still. I like them being neat, cool friends again. Blair, you're not about to be booted from the Brunch.
Wow.
I couldn't do that, Ophelia. It's okay. He only suggested it. He didn't declare it.
No.
Once he declares it, like bankruptcy, it's a different story. Logan Paul, no. I get the. I'm just no. I don't want Logan Paul anymore. Have him take some time away
feel
after this. After the United States Championship match here.
He's
I think
better
he's
as
an
a
incredible
special
athlete.
attraction.
Yeah, I think he's an incredible athlete. I like having Logan Paul around as a professional wrestler, but like you said, I think he's a special attraction. I don't want him there every week with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I do think for Money in the Bank to be most effective, you've got to be there every week so that the anything could happen potential is there.
Yeah, like I'm definitely in the I really want to see Sammy cash in, and get the briefcase, and depending where they place the men's one in the card, maybe even he cash in the same night because we just had a long one, and if Drew has a title match in the main event, and him showing up that night in Toronto and walking out champion would just be the massive pop that he so deserves, especially after Elimination Chamber.
Is Money in the Bank in Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh, solid.
Yeah, Money in the Bank, July 6th. And I believe they've also got a...
NXT.
I still call them takeovers, yeah, like a stand and deliver or something like that. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm very excited for that one too, to be honest with you. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I'm trying to see likes. I'm trying to multitask. Frick, we all know how well that goes for me.
I kind of hope now that they put if they have a big Money in the Bank women's match that they put Trish Stratus in there, just because she's from Toronto, and I think that'd be cool for her to be in that. I don't think I've ever seen Trish Stratus in a ladder match.
Was she? I think she was in the last Money in the Bank, wasn't she?
Was
she
was
there
she?
last year?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so. Goose, I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again, man. But I believe she was in the last Money in the Bank.
Okay.
But yeah, her Chelsea Green in there, obviously, again, just always
Chelsea
go to
Green
bat
would
there.
Chelsea Green would be a fantastic winner, and like having her hold the belt for a long time and just being a slimy like heel girl that will cash in when the opportunity is right. Nick could do those like tease cash ins where it's like, oh, is she gonna cash in? No, not tonight. That sort of thing. Could do that a lot with her.
Trish was in the last one with Io, Bailey, Becky, Zelina, and Zoe Stark.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that then.
Yeah, that was a good one last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the show itself was very good from what I remember.
Well, it wasn't held in Canada, was it?
No, and that's probably why it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
No, last year was London.
Yeah.
You sound like you're from London.
Oi, bruv. Right? No.
London, Ontario.
Thank you, Lawrence.
London,
I appreciate just Lawrence. Lawrence, I think, is the only one who picked that one up, and I appreciate you for it. Thoroughly appreciate it. With Cody challenging The Rock, do you think the match will happen at night one of WrestleMania, maybe SummerSlam? I don't know. I'm almost just thinking we're going to get to a point where The Rock's in Roman's corner. I don't know if he's going to have a match at WrestleMania this year. If he does, neat. But, like, for me, the way they've sort of built this is, like, The Rock's in Roman's corner and either screws Roman where, the whole L for love, whatever conspiracy theory was going around there a couple of weeks ago. You either have The Rock in Roman's corner and he screws Roman, or like you make it a triple threat because he already said he wanted to challenge for the WWE Championship. Like, and Rock versus Roman is the match. Like, I don't know. And why would you have Cody go back to back? The Rock's there to weaken him up for Roman Reigns, just again makes Roman Reigns look weaker by default. Why would he need to weaken Cody up? Cody already lost to him last year. Like, soften him up. No, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I mean, obviously, like, I saw the highlight, and like, it's very obvious. Cody Rhodes was like, "Rock, I'm challenging you to a match." So, like, I'm pretty sure, like, if it was me, I would do that. I'd have like Rock go and face Cody 1-on-1 in the first night, and have Cody, get a big victory over Rock.
Do it on Raw.
Yeah, that's it.
They could do that too.
Cody, the Rock's first match on Raw since what, 2003? Fun fact: who was the last person to defeat The Rock on Monday Night Raw?
Oh, was it
the Hurricane?
I was gonna say the Hurricane. Yeah.
Bingo, bango, Shane Hurricane Helms. There's a fun.
Hurricane's awesome. I absolutely love the Hurricane. But yet, no, I totally would do that and have like Rock, smarmy heel Rock on night one, and then because like having Roman be an insecure heel is a good idea.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I am becoming more and more convinced on my end of things that, like, I think Roman's losing the title at SummerSlam, no matter how you break it. I think they're going to have him beat Hogan's record. I've said this a million times, and whether or not you believe it or not, believe in the Shield. I missed that. I had it, and I missed it. Swing, miss. Roman's had a lot of his biggest moments at SummerSlam. He's won the title a couple of times at SummerSlam. He finally beat Sheamus for it. Like, I got WrestleMania being the biggest show on earth. I understand having the biggest babyface beat the biggest heel in the company on the biggest show they possibly can. But there's a lot of logic in them doing it at SummerSlam. There really is. So maybe you're right. Maybe Cody beats The Rock on night one. The Rock gets pissed off. He's in Roman's corner, and he screws Cody out of winning the title. And then you set that up. I don't know. But
yeah, I wouldn't take the belt off Roman either. I like the idea of, like, I watched a YouTube video and it was all about Roman Reigns and his entire run, and the idea that Roman Reigns is so insecure that he's got he's using every like shortcut he can to keep that belt. He's becoming more and more desperate as it goes along. Like I really like that idea.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
No,
I don't hate it. I just don't.
It has to end at Mania. Like they're risking. Like we just saw what happened with just the idea of Cody not getting the title shot at all, and if we still get dragged through Cody lose, like there's going to be like the reaction's going to be really really negative to where him losing the title. It's going to take away to whenever he loses the title, and also the Hogan record to me is fucking meaningless. It's dumb. And also he's actually technically doesn't break it because he's held the WWE Championship for less. He's only had it for like 600 something days, so he technically isn't actually breaking it. If you look at the lineage of the titles, because they did put them both together, but like it is in like the end of the day, like it's meaningless. Like it has to end with Cody beating him, and them setting up a match next year at Mania with The Rock. Like I feel like the backlash is gonna be too big if you carry fans through a second straight year of this.
Yeah, but are they gonna really do like the once in a lifetime, twice in a lifetime? Hey, I'll see you at next year's Mania again, and then The Rock frigs off for a couple of years, months. Yeah. Like, ugh, that sounds gross and disgusting, and I hate it.
But also, like, yesterday they did tease the match that Like I honestly like could not give a shit about Terry Bollea. I don't give a shit about his record. It's like it'd be more interesting to me if him falling short of the record. Like I said this before too. Like it's more the story is more interesting to me that his whole thing is about being acknowledged, and the fact that in the having this historic run of 1,000 something days and still falling short of being in the top 3. And being like firmly acknowledged as one of the greatest of all time, no matter how long this title is also interesting to me. Of him just losing his mind that it won't be acknowledged as one of the top 3 greats still, and despite having a long, like an amazingly massive run, so that's also interesting to me.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I like Cody Rhodes, but I don't love him, and I just like. I don't know if he's the one, No,
there's no one else. They have no one else that comes close to him right now. Like he is, like there's.
You know what though? I agree with you to a point there, Lawrence. But there have been points where we've all thought Cody wasn't the one, and whether or not that's just because we all found someone with a personal preference, whether it's Sammy or it made a lot of sense with Drew McIntyre or served the story with Jey Uso. Like I think Cody is definitely the guy right now, but I wouldn't doubt that there's someone else who can like run that position up. Like, let's get real. Gunther loses the IC title at WrestleMania. Like, he's the next guy coming for Roman. Like he just did.
Yeah.
And that for me would be another one. But that for me would be another one. Yeah, and that for me would be another one where if you build Gunther and Roman for a solid 6 months, and that's a SummerSlam match, I can be convinced otherwise, I guess is the best way to put it, if a better option comes around. I think Cody's an excellent option. I think he's a great face of the company. I think he's one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. That being said, I don't think we need to guarantee that he wins it. Cody, again, the story has become beating Roman Reigns, but the story always was winning the WWE Championship. Like, that was always it. Roman just happened to be the guy. So whether or not it's Gunther, whether or not it's whomever, whether it's The Rock, I 100% get where you come from. But if Cody beats Gunther for the WWE Championship at Madison Square Garden, the place where Dusty's story ended, where he got his last main champion, I hate that phrase, but the main championship opportunity, there's a lot of value in that story too.
See, Gunther's what I like, because you can have this story with Cody, but then go into Gunther, and then you make it so Roman is now the underdog, because Gunther's been a champion like longer than Roman has, hasn't he? Like, hasn't he held that Intercontinental belt for like just like years?
He's not only held it longer than Pedro Morales ever did, or Honky Tonk, or anything like that. Like, he's held the title longer than a lot of their reigns combined.
Yeah, like I would be
the only people I would think have longer reigns or cumulative reigns even at this point than Gunther's one would be like your Savages, your Jerichos, your Miz, like those sorts of guys. And even then, I would be
like
surprised.
A match between insecure Roman Reigns, who's using every like slime ball tactic he can, against Gunther, who you would pretty much have to like turn babyface, but
but they want to turn like
his boys.
Turning Roman babyface
so,
would be massive too.
The
merch that guy would move as a babyface when he's already
Gunther
moving a
would be
ton.
amazing.
Yeah,
Gunther would.
But
Gunther
that being
would
said,
be yeah.
That being said, I really do still hope. Like my hope would be Cody beats Roman at Mania. After the Rumble, I was psyched, and JPJ was there. I was psyched. Roman's standing there in the suite, looking all pissed off. Cody's pointing at the Wrestlemania sign and then pointing at Roman. It was that easy. It was that easy. And then Maui came in, and I don't know. We talked about this the week after. We talked about it after the press conference, all of that sort of stuff. The story for me, in the nicest of ways, and a match I'm still excited to watch when I'm there in Philly, like, story has been tainted by The Rock getting involved. It just has, and that's why for me it's like, well, how do you fix it? Well, that's going to take a while. Like, The Rock's going to be getting involved at Mania somehow. If Cody's wrestling 2 nights, I just, whether it was Roman, whether it was Cody, whomever, I don't think you need the same guy to main event 2 nights in a row. Well, Feely makes a good point. If The Rock comes in and wrestles night 1, well, he's going to be the main event because he's The Rock and he's a board member for TKO, and The Rock is a main eventer. We can get real there, but like then you're either taking it away from a Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, or you're taking it away from a Bayley and Io. And I just hate that. Wrestling's not necessarily a meritocracy, but like lots of love to Cody Rhodes. He doesn't need to main event 2 nights of WrestleMania in a row.
No. And with the story they told, I don't need Hobbs to be a part of it. Like, I get, you bring him back for the special occasion, but like, it's the story
just
they were
prepping
telling.
myself. What was The Rock's name in Walking Tall?
I will say this.
I know the original Walking Tall, the main character's name was Buford Pusser, and there was no way they were going to have The Rock named Buford.
Buford, God.
I think Pusser is the worst name in that one.
I think that's what it is, Buford Pusser, if I'm not mistaken.
I was just thinking, like, if you do have Cody, like, Cody winning at Mania wouldn't be the choice I'd go with. But if you did do that, then I think the move would be to have MJF win Money in the Bank.
I don't know. I think MJF's re-signed.
Yeah.
The fact that nothing has come out, and I know that he's playing the injury angle and all that sort of stuff, but like the fact that MJF, nothing has come out about the bidding war of 2024. 3 months in, 2 months in, I guess. Let's be fair. 2 full months in. And there's been nothing, there's been no talk, there's been no anything like that. The only thing that would, I guess, sort of convince me otherwise or leave the seed of doubt is he hasn't been back since that injury angle. And that was a couple of months ago. So the guy's likely, and I hope, taking some well-deserved time and like getting vacation in, getting some health stuff taken care of, because, he was even saying himself post-press conferences that he was not at his physical best. So wherever he comes back, whenever he comes back, if, like you say, Goose, if he goes to WWE, hell yeah, he's a great Money in the Bank guy. But I don't think. I think there's a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah.
I like this, Zach. And anyone else have any opposing thoughts? If you're going to do it, opening with Cody and The Rock, give him the Lesnar spot so he can go home early.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was thinking that this morning. Like, just have the Rock and Cody, or like if they're teasing the tag match, like have that open one of the nights and have Bayley and Io close the night out for night 1. So like you've got a hot of hell opening. You've got some of your biggest stars there, and it helps set up like night 2 perfectly. Mm-hmm. Like the Cody Roman closing it out. For
make night 2 Bloodline night. Just have Cody and Rock open night 2. Cody and Roman, like Daniel Bryan, the thing.
Well, also you can have Jay and Jimmy.
We've already, as we all know, Cody has to overcome adversity to win the WWE World Universal Championship undisputed. So, let's just make him go through some more adversity. Rock versus Cody in a number 1 contenders match to open night 2.
Yeah.
God. I like the idea of Cody and Rock opening. I think that's far preferable. I just don't know. Let's get real. I love The Rock. I think all of us were praying for Roman versus Rock at some point. He got involved in like the conclusion of a story. This is like if Harry Potter had like Super Voldemort come in at the end of the 8th book. Like that's what this is. Is like there's a robot Voldemort now that we've got to defeat. Like what?
No, it's more like if Harry Potter was about to defeat Voldemort, and it's like some dude named Steve just showed up. You're like, no, this is my story too. He also
And now
hit me with that
Neville
lightning bolt.
Longbottom's evil.
Yeah. And I'm gonna
Like
kill.
that's what this was. The goal of Harry Potter was he beats Voldemort. He didn't need Voldemort's friggin' uncle to come in and kick his ass too.
Yeah.
His Uncle Steve.
Ugh. Gross. Ugly. No,
This is the man whose name will truly not be mentioned throughout the entire franchise till the very end.
Look out, it's Buford. Like,
Oh, his name
on.
his name in Walking Tall was Chris Vaughn.
that's
So-
way worse.
It's much different than Buford Puster.
Chris Vaughn sounds like a guy from NXT.
If I heard that Chris Vaughn was coming to kick my ass, I'd be like, okay, who's Chris Vaughn? If I heard that what was a Buford Pusser
Pusser, you know
was
you're
coming to
getting
kick my
beat
ass,
up.
I've already found a room for rent in the next town over. You know what I mean? Oh, what a horrible. Anyways, I think that just sums it all up. Just sums her all up. And I do also qualify this all too. I've bought my ticket. I'm going to pop when The Rock comes out at Mania, no matter what. It's gonna be cool as all hell. But looking at the thing in as a presented television show, I do not enjoy this specific aspect of it. There you friggin' go. Anyways, let's watch some wrestling because this match I think is longer than 18 minutes. I think we're gonna go long, guys.
Okay, cool.
I think we're gonna go long here. If not, hey Zach, while you're in the chat or somebody on the screen, if one of you guys can give me the old update on where we're at for likes, that'd be neat because I really want to announce this match. It's cool as shit. How long have we got here? I'm just gonna figure out a time. Handsome ass ring announcer. Handsome ass ring announcer. Oh, I was wrong. Look at me. This is why I don't wrestle. I don't know my times. That's the only reason, though. I'm a spectacular athlete.
One fall.
Shut up, Spencer.
Making their way to the ring first.
This, like I said, was from LPW CWS number 10. Of course, the 10th Love Pro Wrestling CWS event. Took place on January 26th, 2004. TFA, after winning the LPW Tag Team Championship, successfully retaining at the Oil Rumble. Not defending, obviously, but taking on Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
Presenting Ride or Die, Sheik and Taryn from Accounting.
And she looks like
A
she's
fun
all
fact,
business
this is also the first LPW CWS event that I ever commentated. Because the Canadian Goose on this one took on Michael Richard Blaze for the LPW Grand Championship.
Yes.
lingering in the air and echo throughout the year. That has consequences.
All right, and I'll make a compromise. Let's go to 15 likes. I want to announce this one. I'm real selfish.
Michael Allen, Richard Clark ran into a little bit outside interference from somebody's teddy bear.
Park River, Manitoba. Weighing in 200
Can you tell Clark's a Pantera fan?
Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
And a hell of a
I also want everybody here to peep the merchandise Michael Allen Richard Clark is wearing, where he is doing push-ups on John Lennon. And that's a shoot.
I look like a guy who eats a
I own the shirt. You know what? I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it.
Patrick, your official. Ring that bell.
I love the Beatles. The Beatles are great.
Nicely done.
I like the Beatles better than I like Pantera.
Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
Thanks, Lawrence.
victorious in
Yeah,
the
hit
Conference
behind
the logo.
That title shot in November now. one might think perhaps maybe on the lower end of the ladder, and a win here would be a step in the right direction, especially against a
When you look at the graphic in the background on the screen, when it
Probably
kind of-
ruined the entire stream.
it partially shows Michael Allen Richard Clark, but then there's like the silhouette behind. He looks like Goro from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I'm about to say, holy shit.
I didn't ruin the stream, which is nice, right?
No, you're good. We did
Oh!
it ourselves.
Nice. And I'm just going to take my headphone out because it's obviously not needed right now.
It was a beautiful arm drag.
Clark's just excellent. Sorry, I sprinted back. I'm not going to go get that shirt now.
Oh,
I thought I ruined the stream when my headphone disconnected.
I'm not happy that Taryn has like gone like super dirty lately. And I say that as somebody that was kicked in the balls by her in our last match.
I think we're going to find out just how much Taryn has changed. Nice
Oh, Zach, thank you.
from Michael Allen Richard Clark, looking to follow up.
You're a very neat man.
I think we're at 14, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe
Give me
15.
one more.
Maybe 15.
Give me one more.
Down to business. There is a
Do we have 15?
We might. I need someone else to confirm.
Yes, we need, as we all know, no single source reporting here at Love Pro Wrestling.
I'm people.
Fake
We
news,
fact
I
check.
will-
We're at 14.
Okay.
15 just now. It just turned to 15.
Thanks for finally liking this. Thanks for finally liking the stream, Lawrence.
I did earlier. Literally.
I'm just, the timing was too convenient. Beautiful. Well, then after this, we are going to announce another match for LPW 2020. 24 hours to go.
Take your time with somebody as dangerous as death and taxes.
Technically, because I already know where my argument is. Technically, this is the only band we paid specific different tributes to twice. Now, the Descendants we've done Don't Want to Grow Up and Still Don't Want to Grow Up, but they were both based on the same album artwork. Whereas the Ramones we've done too.
Put everything she had behind that one.
Nice.
Gotta find a way to make that better marketing
See his
copy.
hands immediately go to his throat, right back there again. He looks like he's really struggling for air. And if you can't
Ooh,
breathe, you can't breathe, you can't fight. Absolutely correct. Fitz checking.
Not that one, Zach.
Continue on
Not that. Can you send me the updated for
back there. You can see
the other match we haven't announced yet?
took his speed from 8 to 6.
Pardon me.
Knows that those European uppercuts targeting that sternum and that throat area. Trying to cut him in half in the
Oh.
corner. Good idea before you crunch.
And we've got 4 cool match announcements coming up in the next few days. Because if you guys haven't yet, head over to our social media channels. We've got Larry's Lucky Lottery going for the #1 contender.
Yes.
to the
Vote for Wolf Boy.
LPW
Vote for Wolf
Grand
Boy.
Championship.
Charge in again.
Get this New World Order in there. You're already a great tag team partner there, Goosey.
100%.
Nicely done.
I love Clark's Power Slam because the coolest thing for me is you see so many people just kind of like try and
The fans want
almost do them as quickly as possible. You know what I mean? Because Arn Anderson, just best of all time. But Clark sort of like powers through it at the end there, and I really love it. It's almost like just a more smooth motion.
internal struggle.
Guy's a stud.
Struggling and you'll pay for it.
I love his.
Does
I'm a
lot
mark
of,
for
like,
Clark.
Really great stuff.
Jeez, the fans want to gouge your eyes. Double leg takedown, and now that hesitation again, costing Clark, raining down rights.
Yeah, you gotta
Ah,
cover up
Zach.
when she gets on you and does that.
Can.
You get me.
Yeah, gouge my eyes. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
fight for my life here. Good luck. Two championship matches still to come. MRB.
And another excellent point, Zach. Patreon saw it first. And usually, Patreon would have seen this match exclusively. We put a couple of sneak peeks out here at the start of the year so that people get an opportunity to see for maybe a $0 cost what you can expect behind the paywall there on patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. Got a lot of cool stuff there. And we're really, I know I've said this a few times, but continuing to try and put some more effort and try and get some unique content on there for all you who spend your hard-earned money on us. So this you can view here on youtube.com/lovewrestlingca. But if you want to tune into literally every CWS match we've ever put on at the Rec Room, head to patreon.com/lovewrestlingca. Gosh, I'm getting good at that. Even with no voice. I'm a good electrician.
Is he gonna do a spelling?
Get it? Because it's a cheap plug.
Spaghetti.
This is nonsense. This ref needs to get control. Like, Taryn's just cheating the whole time here.
You know what I will say? That is PWA Hall of Famer and your 2023 LPW Official of the Year, Mike DeFitz Fitzpatrick. Maybe for this one he was celebrating a little much on his recent year award.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, he missed it when MRB cheated against me too.
Yeah,
Cheating if he wasn't caught.
you know what? That's true, and I do agree in some aspects of like if you aren't cheating, you aren't trying.
Yeah.
I do at least understand that mentality. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I at least get it.
There we go. Yeah, kick her in the face. Oh, speaking of gorgeous power slams. Boom.
Yep.
He's got a million of them. You know what doesn't win you matches, Boris? What? Vertical. Or push-ups. The fans want the push-ups.
Actually, push-ups did win you a match this month.
And this might be
Goose versus Fitz coming soon. It wouldn't be the first time we've had a non-wrestler
There we go.
and PWA Hall of Famer in a match. Shout out to Big Bad Boris on that one. On his few, technically, I suppose.
I won the first ever clandestine tribute to the clusterfuck, and Boris won the second.
You want to call it?
That is true.
Three from 1004 holes. Is it?
Big stud Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
Yeah.
That's for sure. She's
Can't handle 30 push-ups.
they're both with
I can't handle 30 push-ups. Nonetheless, people doing them on my back, I would have to assume.
Taryn making her way back to her feet.
The thing is all he's doing is giving her time to recover.
Having a dissertation with some of the fans at ringside.
You've got your opponent where you want him. Why are you? gonna
Dash
sit
has
and
become a
stand
very
back
good
and cover the
commentator
fans?
too. He's like, that's a good observation he just made there.
Into the corner.
I completely agree with you, man. Dash has gotten really, really great in like again a relatively short amount of time. He's been coming out for the clandestine shows for the better part of 6 months, and obviously, you know, with the amount of podcasting work that he does, with the amount of media work that he does, he's always had an idea of like how to handle himself behind a microphone, obviously. But it's been really, really cool to sort of listen and see firsthand the development, because like, you know us, there's nobody we're going to put on a Friday show ever that isn't ready to be there, right? So it's been very, very cool that, you know, Dash earned it. That's the way
He's
to put
putting
it.
in the work too. Like he's been down at the clandestine training facility.
Yeah, I was literally just about to mention that. Like, I'm excited to see like both of them work with Veda at the next show. It's gonna be
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be the first time we've had a 3-person booth in the better part of a year. The first time Veda was up here was LPW 7, and they would have worked in a 3-man booth fairly consistently, I guess, because that's when Thaddeus still had the Archer report going on before everything. So Thaddeus was on there for a good chunk of the numbers, but I don't
She
believe
just
all
plowed
of
the
it.
ref.
Now what are we gonna do?
I didn't see nothing.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was complaining about that referee earlier, but he didn't deserve to get punched in the face there.
Those guys look.
Not by Taryn.
Ophelia, yes, this was the Potato Skins Clandestine Wrestling Society event.
Uh-oh.
There's the cutter from Michael Allen, Richard Clark.
Did he hit her with that belt?
He did
Big
not.
Tater and Little Tot have been crushing it on commentary.
And at 2. Oh, Taryn.
The MARCKO.
Possible second.
Look at that experience. Puts the foot on the rope, wastes zero energy in doing so.
Very few walk away from the cutter.
Pick a ref. He's gonna start deadlifting referees. You better worry about.
Oh!
Went low. Fitz didn't
Sure,
see
sure.
it.
Okay, so that one I did see.
Yeah.
That one I do have to admit I did witness.
DDT. Fitz paying attention to the carcass of Stuart Garvey. And Taryn from Accounting gonna walk away.
That's
with a
how you count to
victory.
3.
Yeah, I saw
A
that.
garage sale in there, Boris.
TFA thriving in the chaos and coming out with another win.
Well, gonna remove that one just in case, because you never know how YouTube is with music sometimes. So that was Taryn from Accounting versus Michael Allen, Richard Clark, LPW 10. LPW times CWS 10. My apologies. Make sure you check that out on YouTube because that one is publicly available. We'll usually put one out per LPW CWS event, but check that one out on YouTube. But head over to patreon.com/lovewrestlingca if you want to check out some more great matches from the Clandestine Wrestling Society, the Oil Rumble, anywhere in between. However, if you want to check out a couple of live events here from Love Pro Wrestling at the end of the month, we've got LPW CWS number 11. It is the 1 year, or number 12, excuse me. Got my numbers confused with that one being from a month ago. LPW CWS 12 coming up. It is the 1 year anniversary, and you know we're going bigger, badder, and better than ever. So Nicole Matthews and Speedball Mike Bailey will be going one-on-one for the first time ever. However, the next night, Speedball Mike Bailey gets their first opportunity at Love Pro Wrestling Gold as they take on the intangible Zoe Sager for the LPW Challenge Championship. Another first time ever match. You're getting Speedball back-to-back on Thursday and Friday to close out the month. It's our 2-year birthday or 2-year anniversary, depending on which one you want to call it. October of 2021, we ran our first ever event, but March of 2022 was when we started running our monthly series of events. So we've got a birthday, we've got an anniversary. Pick whichever one you want to call it. It's our birth anniversary show. There you go. So make sure you pick up your tickets. They're already getting limited, about 75% gone for the Friday show. We're about half gone there already for the Thursday show. So let's sell out back-to-back nights at the Rec Room South Common at the end of the month. But between that, Blair, I know you've got some interviews coming up. You'll probably have 3 or 4 before our next event. So where can the people find you? Where can the people find them if they want to stay up to date with Grainmaker?
Well, you can first off, you can find me here every weekend doing 4 Exposure with Pluggo, where we take a look at the world of independent wrestling. And we're going to have I think 5 p.m. Central Time start this upcoming Saturday to get you ready for the IWS show, get you ready for GCW, whatever you may want to tune into that night. There's some great wrestling. But besides that, find me up on all social media at Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast and podcasts on all podcast streaming platforms.
Laurence.
Yep. Yeah. So, as just mentioned by Blair, but Zach and Mike and I will be at IWS this Saturday. We'll be conducting interviews, talking to people, and just having a great time. It's going to be a massive show. IWS 25, the 25th anniversary, uneffing sanctioned. It's going to be a massive, massive show. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, Zach gets to meet Mike for the first time. This will be his second time hanging out with Mike's going to be a real, real fun time.
Way to brag. I haven't met Mike once.
He is a large man. Like
Probably beat me up.
He's very
Most
tall.
people could probably beat me up, but Mike could probably beat me up too. Goose, where can the people find you? I know you've got, like I said earlier today, an episode of Monday Night Shaw coming tomorrow, but if people want to keep up to date with your socials, anything like that, my friend, where can they?
Yeah, I'm at Canadian Goose KS there on Instagram and Twitter. Kyle Shaw on Facebook. You can follow me. I wrestle all the time and have great fun matches and stuff. Last night, the BEW show, that was a great time. It
looked really cool from the photos that I saw there online.
It
which
was
is always great to see. Were you on the Saskatchewan side of Lloydminster, or were you on the Alberta side?
I believe we were in Alberta still. So
Good.
the best wrestling fans.
Good either way, I was going to say.
Watch. But it was tremendous.
Awesome.
It was a really good time. So I was very happy to do that. And but the biggest and most important thing I wanted to say right now is vote for Wolf Boy. Absolutely.
We've already got over 100 votes in for Larry's Lucky Lottery. That closes at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time tonight. So that'll be about 2 a.m. Eastern. But get your votes in because we're going to be announcing Michael Richard Blaze opponent for March 29th tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Eastern. Get your votes in, friends. We're real excited. Whoever is going to be challenging for the Grand Championship. And selfishly, I'm real excited to see who MRB makes Lumberjack Larry Woods wrestle at our upcoming
Elliot
event as
Tyler
well,
would be
too.
great too.
I'm excited regardless. Like I said earlier, we've never let anybody in our ring that wasn't ready to be there, but I'm real excited for any of those 5 individuals we've got as part of that poll. So whoever you prefer, whoever you want to advocate for, just make sure you get your votes in before 11:59 p.m. tonight. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Spenny Love, but follow us wherever podcasts are played, videos are viewed, or awesome content is created by awesome people at Love Wrestling CA. And like I've said a couple of times, make sure that you pick up your tickets for March 28th and 29th. We've got a pair of events at the Rec Room, South Edmonton. We want to sell them both out, and we got cards that I promise are worth the price of admission. So check those out sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, in the in-between time, for Blair, for Lawrence, for the Goose, I'll continue to be, but I have been Spencer Love. We'll see you next week, friends.